Okay, this is my second attempt at this actually. First one, my phone actually ran out of memory, so I've had to delete a load of files. So this is quite spontaneous. It's to do with the harmony ray. Now briefly, there are 7 rays come through the constellations, to the sun, to a Pacific planet, and to planet Earth. They bring energies of consciousness, a Pacific consciousness. So each ray brings a certain energy of consciousness to humanity in the solar system. At the moment, the 7th ray is manifesting rapidly, the 6th ray is going out of manifestation, which is the ray of devotion. Certain rays are always in, at the moment, manifestation, the 3rd and the 5th. 3rd being active intelligence and the 5th being concrete science. On a higher spiral, that becomes science and discovery. So you can see why the technical advancements over the last couple of 100 years, those two have been coming in since about 14 or 1500s or whatever. The harmony ray now, that's due to manifest in 2025. That's very interesting. It's the ray of the artist, the poet, creativity. It's also Rajas and Tamars, which is high activity, low activity. So this particular bit I've chosen concerns the true self and the not self. So to help us with that is and how we recognise these patterns, environmental patterns that have conditioned us over the years, actually demonstrate the fact part of us is not actually us at all. It's what's been impressed upon us, and we basically repeat. So we have an celestial quartz, quite a skeletal quartz. Tends to be smoky, but not all the time. That gets to the core of the matter. So that's going to tell me certain aspects of my not self. And give me realizations to think, well, that's not really me at all. We have another crystal which I thought actually, when my phone stopped, I thought I might have been actually censored with this one. It is a natural sept quartz, gets to the heart of the matter. Yeah, so I thought I might have been censored, but I didn't actually mention the word penis at all. So, oops, oh dear. Anyway, the harmony ray. So I'm going to pick up this writing from, which is Healing Through Time and Space, in actual fact, which of course I've nearly finished. We're on page 235. It's quite a large one, not like the sept quartz, obviously. The harmony ray, the 4th ray, also has a dual. Previous to that, I was talking about the 2nd ray, which is love and wisdom. 1st ray is will and power. The 6th ray is idealism and devotion. And the 7th, ceremonial order and magic, or manifestation and order. 2 very different things. So I will present this in 2 different ways. One from the standpoint of average humanity, and one from the standpoint of advanced humanity. Obviously, there are many levels in between. From average humanity, this ray is known as harmony through conflict between the soul and personality, or for a better understanding, the self and the not self. So this is what we can expect. It's starting already. Year 2020, I'm going to say just 2000. I think that was probably wishful thinking, wishing myself a bit younger, obviously. But 2020, 5 years to go, but it just doesn't suddenly, it's not like a light switch. It's not in manifestation, it's dark, and click, it's now in manifestation. No, it filters in. And that's what's happening at the moment. So we're seeing this stuff of the not self coming up, personality wanting to do all those things that maybe it used to do or wants to do or wanted to do in the past, And there's the soul thing going on as well, giving massive inspiration. So there can be a tugging going on here. And some people dropping away. The not self creates the conflict. So it says, for better understanding the self and the not self. The not self creates the conflict as it seeks to retain its power within the physical worlds. Now this ray concerns sound and the ability of the not self to listen to the self. A word concerning this is the word truth. I'll stop there. I have water tonight. But the actual truth of it all is there's going to be a beer as well later. Now that's the truth. Now I could conceal the fact, because this is a very high spiritual presentation, that I don't drink beer because I'm so spiritual, but in actual fact I do. Losing the thread here, a word concerning this is the word truth, which is connected to the throat centre and communication. Now you can imagine that, can't you? The creative thread from the soul is anchored into the throat centre, so it is creative expression. So there are three threads from the soul: creative thread, throat; consciousness thread, crown; life thread, heart. That's worth pondering on. Do you express the sounds of the not self or the sounds of the self? Two very different things. The sounds of the not self has more to say about itself. The self in relationship to truth has so much less to say about itself, as the sounds of the lower worlds do not influence it. There is very little to say about the lower worlds. There is a lot to say about the consciousness of the higher worlds. The self is a reflection of the soul. The self is the integrated soul and personality. So that's worth thinking about. The not self has a lot to say about itself. Say no more about that. If you think about how people go on about themselves, it's all to do with themselves. As the sounds of the physical worlds are dominant, there is little opportunity to express the sounds of the higher consciousness. Yet the self becomes an attractive aspect for those who have something to say to. For those you have something to say to. Those who are attracted towards your love and wisdom. So, all this engagement with the spiritual self, if you like, you become an attractive, your aura, through the law of attraction, attracts people towards you. Your engagement with the lower worlds will diminish, and you will not naturally wish to engage with certain aspects of it. So this word conflict represents the evolutionary process. Through conflict, transformation can occur. And that's something, through conflict, transformation can occur. The conflict is uncomfortable, but conflict also makes us think about our position within that conflict, if you like. And think about what we can do about that. And that can create an expansion of consciousness through evaluation of our position and our behaviour and everything else. It's a time of transformation, really. This is when the wisdom aspect of the second ray can resolve the conflict. So I've mentioned the second ray is love and wisdom, and the colour is blue. This word then relates to the challenges that the personality will encounter within the physical, emotional and mental planes. And the conflict can be felt within all the bodies, and at some point the not self will cry out to the self for help. Maybe not consciously, but the not self will reach a point of crisis, and at that moment in desperation will listen to the self. So that's when the cry goes out. Nothing can be resolved. Everything gets too much for the not self. Can't stand anymore, and it seeks a help. Then it will bow down and listen to the true self. This is the moment of opportunity. Can you relate to what I have said? Is it not that moment of crisis that has led you to this work? Have you reached a point where nothing interests you? That is because there is so much more. Your soul knows your journey, your destiny. So this conflict I have spoken of happens through the lower bodies, sometimes all of them, and maybe just one in particular. The crisis is a crisis of the not self, exists within the body. In this respect, it is the consciousness of the not self which creates a limitation or boundaries. So particular patterns of thought in relationship to this ray are not in harmony. The not self is not in harmony. If you take the strings of a guitar, and the lower three strings represent these bodies, physical, emotional and mental, none of these strings will be in tune, and the sound will reflect that. That is the sound you will be expressing in the environment. That is the sound you will be creating in your inner worlds. That's something really worth thinking about. Your inner worlds will be out of tune. Your thoughts and feelings will be out of tune with themselves, and all consider they will be out of tune with your soul. The soul sounds its note, and that note comes down into the lower bodies. In fact, it creates the lower bodies in the first place. So, your bodies have got the sound of the soul within it. And so, the not self will be out of tune with that vibration. Your soul also has its own sound. I'll just sound that actually. Can you imagine what the soul hears? Your soul is in harmony. It is group consciousness. It is a unity. When it hears the sounds of the not self, as displayed by the personality out of tune, that soul will not resonate with your sound, and your soul will turn its back on you, because it cannot withstand the sound. If you start to attune your lower strings, bodies, the soul will turn its attention towards you once it hears a clearer sound. It will say, that string is starting to become in tune. The more your strings go towards harmonious resonance, the more the soul will respond, as it will then wish to be in harmony with you. As with the example of the guitar, it will then be in harmony itself with the lower strings. Once attuned, the sound relays consciousness. It becomes a one life that will then seek a higher attunement. So when the strings are in harmony, there is peace. You just pause and realise that last part, when the strings are in harmony, and there is peace. That word peace is the second dual I am presenting. So you have harmony through conflict, leading to harmony and peace. The peace of the self within the lower worlds, the peace that exists in the higher worlds. And this is another relationship with the second ray, and that great being known as the spirit of peace. We can use the concept presented as a meditation to make a transference from the not self to the self. It will involve negating the conflict that exists within the lower bodies, within the consciousness. Have you any conflict within your thoughts, feelings and activities? Give that a thought before I proceed. Is your life in harmony? Think about this. Is there a peace within your life? You must, when considering this harmony, take into account your everyday thoughts and feelings, as they can be overlooked as being normal. This is how it is. Because of this, that and the other, the not self tends to put the blame on others and would say, I would be in harmony if this, that and the other happened. The environment is always an aspect to be overcome, or should I say harmonised. The world as such is not in harmony. It doesn't mean you cannot be. Those who choose the separatist existence of semi-seclusion from meditation practice are not in harmony. They are in tranquility and have no challenge to take them from the not-self to the self. There are obvious exceptions. You must remember that your light goes before you, and you need to take that light into the dark places. When I say dark, I mean where there is a lack of consciousness, where you can stimulate the soul. Not those dark places which have to be avoided for obvious reasons. Where that exists, there is no light present to stimulate. The word peace can mean many things. The peace of the personality is different from the peace of the soul. The personality seeks peace from the environment. The soul is within peace. And harmony is not related to tranquility, because harmony is soul, as I've previously mentioned, in relationship to the strings of the guitar. When you are in harmony, and you are alive and continuously playing your guitar. The sounds of will, love, and intelligence. The higher spheres are in harmony, and they give forth a sound. The self has a relationship to these spheres, because everything has a relationship. So do you wish to become the self, or stay within the confines of the not-self? It is as simple as that. There is a triangle of constellations, whereby the fourth ray of harmony travels on its journey into the solar system, to the heart of the solar system, the sun, and then to a planet, then to Earth. The triangle of constellations on the baseline is Taurus and Sagittarius. Top of the triangle is Scorpio. There is a polarization between Taurus and Sagittarius, with Scorpio at the top of the triangle. And the polarization this time is with Earth and Fire. Taurus is an Earth sign, Sagittarius is a fire sign. Polarization of the second ray was Earth and Water. This is very revealing because at the top of the triangle has Scorpio, water, and also it represents initiation. So you can relate this to the conflict aspect of the fourth ray. Water relates to emotion and, in a way, the lower part of the emotional body, whereas fire relates to initiation, the burning ground. It's quoted in esoteric science. And that burning ground is initiated on Earth. Taurus is also important at this time. I'm taking your mind on a journey of the fourth ray. These constellations are in harmony. They are creating a sound that allows the fourth ray of consciousness to travel through them. A passage of sound. Do the constellations create the fourth ray? The answer is no. They have an affiliation with it. The solar system is now attracting this energy for its own evolution, in which humanity plays a major part. Consider then the part that you are playing. You may not even think you are playing a major part within your environment and humanity itself, let alone the three lower kingdoms of nature. You have to give way, your concept of the not-self, to the self itself, within the evolution of the solar system, what part the self can play. The first step to the self is to attain self-consciousness. This is the truth of the not-self you have been considering, whether you are in harmony and maybe come to see conclusions. Harmony requires the ability to listen and communicate. Can you communicate with the not-self? Okay, we're going into a meditation to finish this off. Or finish us off, whichever way you look at it. Prepare for meditation. Spend some time thinking about what has been presented. Remember, you are seeking harmony. So you're pondering, and this is before you sit down for meditation, is not self-searching. Trying to dig things up, so to speak. Just pondering the not-self and then the self. Realizing they are two different things. Think about the concept of the strings on a guitar and harmony. The harmony of the spheres. Then ponder the words love, harmony and peace. Love, harmony and peace. We're now going fully into the meditation, so relax into the space. To make the transition through time, first bring to mind the word love. Place the word love into your heart center and identify with the soul. At that moment you close your eyes, making the transition from time into the timeless worlds, to the Buddhic plane of love above the soul. There you identify with the Lord of compassion and breathe in the energy of love. Once love is established, bring your attention to a master of the wisdom, and the word wisdom which you place into your brow center. You have love in the heart, wisdom in the brow. An energetic exchange takes place and a flow of energy occurs. You've made a secondary approach to this meditation. Now bring your mind to the word harmony and the not self and the self. Place the word harmony into your solar plexus and cast your mind back to the Buddhic plane and the ashrams. You focus upon the ashram of the fourth ray and a master of harmony. The not self you place into your mind. In your mind is the energy of love. Does the master wish to give you an instruction concerning your not self? The master's instructions enter your mind. The fourth ray of harmony enters your solar plexus. I'll repeat that last bit. Does the master wish to give you an instruction concerning your not self? The self is prepared to receive the instructions, as it is also within the mind. Self embodies truth. The not self embodies the environment. Its desire within that environment to govern is governed by its needs. The self is non-separatist. The not self is separatist in its attitude. The key to the door of harmony lies within yourself, your inner worlds of thought and feeling. Your inner worlds are playing many sounds, too many sounds. You have the entire orchestra that is out of tune. Within your inner worlds lies the self, hiding away from the sounds of the not self. What are these sounds? They are the sounds of your environment. Go out into the environment, listen to other people's sounds, their speech, their communication, the sound of their energies. Do not criticize them, you are the observer. Do you make those sounds that you are experiencing from others? Do they concern you? Do you give them thought or feeling, or are you neutral to their experience? You recognize your not self in others. Now, at this point in the instruction, take your mind out into the environment to seek your not self in others. Then seek the not self in your inner worlds. And disassociate from your not self, bringing the energy of harmony into the word harmony within the solar plexus, and place the word peace into your brow center. So harmony enters the solar plexus and the word peace into your brow. You rise back to the Buddhic plane above the soul, and there you focus upon the triangle of constellations. Scorpio at the top of the triangle, with Taurus and Sagittarius upon the base line. Within your triangle there is light and there is harmony, and also there is peace. And within this light you can perceive the spirit of peace, the rider on the white horse. If you perceive the rider, the energy of the rider comes towards you. This is the peace of the heavens, which enters into your mind, into your heart, and into your solar plexus. At this point, your true self starts to emerge out of the cave. What is the first thing your true self has to communicate with you? This is important. Also breathe in this energy of peace, and all conflict disappears. The given moment in time, you'll transition back into time itself. Breathe in the energy of peace. Remember the first communication your true self has given to you. When you are making the journey back into the physical plane, become aware of your feet upon the ground through the sense of feeling. Gradually bring your mind back down. Become aware of the surroundings of your physical body. Within those surroundings, and slowly open your eyes upon the space, to then focus upon the objects. This now is a good time to record your experience. Maybe you need to move around. It does carry on a little bit here, which I will. Didn't intend to, but there you go. Who knows? What is the insight from this meditation? Has it revealed anything? Has it enhanced your true self? Notice I have added the word true to the word self. You've gone from the self to the true self. Slightly different. You have a better understanding of the not self. And there's the three aspects we've been working with. The not self, the self, and the true self. Are there thoughts and feelings that need to be disassociated with? What are the sounds of the inner worlds that need not to exist there? These will be the complexities of the not self. As they drop away, there will be less sound. What remains will become a harmony. Then there will be other sounds that you will be impressed by. They will not be your sounds. They will be sounds of the higher planes of consciousness. Are you understanding this concept concerning the inner worlds? It does go on quite a lot from there. So this could be a really long video. I'm not sure that would be useful to be that length of time. So, okay, we'll stop at that point.